Please be seated. All right, so we'll go ahead and call this meeting into session. And the first item of business will be to approve the agenda for this evening. And we do have just a couple of changes, and so I'll read those very quickly. We added item 7.18, School Readiness Contract, at the request of Ms. Brooke Barron, Director, Curriculum and Instruction. We added item 7.19, Appropriation of District 3 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Edge Elementary School for Clear Touch panels. Okay? And so with those changes, colleagues, I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant.
Second.
Second by Ms. Ivanchek. Any discussion? Being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Now we come to the best part, recognitions. All right, 3.1, recognition of the Ruckle Middle School Dance Team 2025 Universal Dance Association, UDA, Junior High Division Game Day State Champions, presented by Superintendent Chambers. Mr. Chambers.
Thank you, Dr. White, School Board. I first want to say you can always tell when you have athletes in the room, and athletes display a lot of discipline. And you notice when the clock turns 6 o'clock, the chairman didn't even have to say anything, and everyone got silent. And so so it's pretty amazing. And I want to first say to our dance team, it's one thing to have a state title one time, and it's another thing to have a title 2 times. So to be back-to-back champions, that's something that doesn't happen by accident. And I always say in these meetings, because it seems like we have more and more state championships, whether it be cross-country, wrestling, cheer, dance, the day of the event is not when you win it. It's the summertime. It's the practices. It's the sweat, it's the tears, it's the arguing, it's coming together as a team. And all of those qualities, all of those things that these young ladies learn along that journey, it's what helped them become state champions, and it's what's going to help them as they go through school, and it's what's going to help them when they get into life. And I know for parents, those dance team parents, as you're traveling all across creation, you know, whether it's with Ruckle and other entities as well, there's a lot that goes into being a dance team parent, so I just want to thank you as well. But to the girls, most athletes will never win a state championship. I want you to think about that. Most will never win a state championship, so it's the small few, the small percentage who will ever win a state championship. And I hope you never forget that. I know there are individuals up here on this board who played athletics, high school, college, and I'll just say for myself, never once won a state championship. So it's just, I'm jealous, all right? Just a little bit jealous. But I just want to say congratulations. But before we do a few more things where we're going to have Coach come up, where we'll have Mr. Genezo come up, and then one lucky young lady who's going to give a 15-minute speech, like I told Cheer, about the significance of the dance team impact. So make sure you're thinking about which one it's going to be. But we may have some board members who might have some words as well.
Sure. You want to start, Mr. Heinley? They'll start with you.
Absolutely. So I was a Ruckle Ram, product of Ruckle, and I told Mr. Genazo there that I spent a lot of time in the Ram stall back in those days. But you girls, I was a 6-year dance dad. So all you dancers out there, I know what you girls went through. I know all about the practice and the twisted legs and the drama and all that stuff. But you girls, I'm going to talk to the parents now. You parents, I really know what you went through. And all you dads especially, we had shirts made up that says, "We don't dance, we finance." And so I know the pain that all you parents have gone through, and it's really good for the girls to do that. You know, I will tell you, my daughter started in 7th grade at Ruckle dancing, and she came home after 6th grade, and she handed this paper. It had all the requirements to be on dance. And I was shocked. I had no idea. I looked at the time, and I looked at the financial commitment, and I took to my wife, I said, "Look, have you read this?" She goes, "Yeah, let her try out. She'll never make it." 6 years later, all the way through Ruckle and high school. So I hope you dancers will continue your sport and take it into high school, because it's really good for you. And good luck, parents.
Thank you. Ms. Evangelist.
Yeah, well, ladies, I'm just so proud of how you've represented your school and our school district. And you know, March is Women's History Month. So how appropriate tonight that we are showing championships, champions female. And so that's exciting to see you come up here tonight. So again, continue to keep that championship attitude and always be a winner. And again, thank you for representing us so well, and congratulations.
And I'll just add, you know, that all the wonderful things that you've accomplished makes us all very, very proud of you, and we appreciate your parents and your families and your coaches and your principal and your teachers, because it all had to kind of work together to get to this stage. And the superintendent's exactly right. All of these things will serve you well later in life. Mr. Bryant?
And I'll just echo what my colleagues have already said and what the superintendent said. To be back-to-back champions, that's incredible. And I have a feeling we might see back-to-back-to-back, just looking at the support that the team has. And I agree with Mr. Heinley. Parents, you should be very proud of your daughters and what they've accomplished out there, because without you and the support that you give them, you know, it can't be done. And to the girls, congratulations. I know a lot of hard work went into this, and to hear the medals clanging as they came in, that was pretty cool too. So congratulations. And congratulations, Mr. Genezo and the coach. I think she's back there. Is she back there? Yep, there she is. Okay.
Very good. Mr. Desta.
I'll say, I was mentioning to Joe Genezo before we started how exciting this part of being up on this board is, which is the recognitions of our athletes and our scholars. But I'm the other jealous guy of being an athlete up here on the board of you guys, because I swam in high school at Fort Walton. I competed at the collegiate level for all 4 years, and by a lot of metrics, I was a good athlete. But I never won state. I didn't win nationals. Guys, you did something very remarkable, and it's not by accident. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of great support from your parents, and I can't tell you how excited I am to be up here and how proud I know that all of us are of your accomplishments. So very well done.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Superintendent, I'll turn it over to you.
And before we go further, Mr. Genezo, Coach, if you come forward.
We got this. Okay. So I do have Coach Williams. Coach Diddy was certainly hoping to be here tonight, but it is that season where they're dropping like flies with dealing with some health. So we also have Captain Maya with us. I just wanted to talk a little bit about what it takes from that practice standpoint. They start on May 10th. May 10th. And the outcome that they are planning for does not happen until February. And that is an incredible amount of time to remain dedicated, and the amount of deliberate practice they put in every single day. They work on very, very specific routines to try to get better in and outside of our own facility. We go into the old cafeteria or the new cafetorium, and we're moving tables to create this practice space every single day. They are so dedicated to this sport, the number of hours, that it truly is a testament to them as leaders to represent our school. Our theme is Rams Lead, and that is in all areas, whether that be academics, arts, and certainly athletics. And they have done a fantastic job of that, and we're super, super proud. But Maya has something to share.
No, it's fine. So I just want to say how proud I am of my team and all the hard work and effort you guys put in every day. And like, we overcame so much, and I want to thank the coaches and their parents too.
I'm Coach Sierra. Like, seeing them from May to now, I mean, the dancers are amazing. They have grown so much, and I am so proud. And they really make me proud to be their coach. And I just appreciate all the hard work, and I appreciate the parents for putting in a lot of effort too. So thank y'all.
Go Rams.
Tyler?
Coach.
You should have told Brett he has to read the names.
Okay. All right, girls, I'm gonna call you out. Is Elena here? No. Okay, I'll give this. Oh, come here, Elena. This is Elena Boswell. Allison. Addison.
Thank you. Thank you.
Reese.
Thank you.
Adri. Eva. Chesney.
Thank you.
Maya.
Thank you.
Liv. Raina. Ellie. Elsa. Addie. Elizabeth. Olivia. Lily. And Zakaria.
Yeah, go on the other side.
So we also have.
Okay, here it is right here. This is the plaque. It's going to be hanging in the office, wherever it goes. Ruckle Middle School dance team for the junior high game division Florida State Championship.
Oh yes, girls, can we line up, please? Tall to the back, short to the front.
You got to sit right here. You guys want to just take a picture, you've done the.
Yeah, oh yeah. Girls get underneath this. And then we'll have somebody stand and crouch.
The camera, you got to make sure your face is in the camera.
Squeeze it nice and tight.
This is the one first, right here. Guys, smile right here.
Y'all ready? I'm gonna take a couple, so just keep smiling. Here we go.
Chesney, lower your.
All right. Thank you. I'm gonna grab away. Take pictures.
On your shoulder.
That was great. And so let's go ahead now and move to 3.2. This will be the recognition of the Ruckle Middle School cheerleading team 2025 Large Junior High Division National Champions, presented by Superintendent Chambers. Mr. Chambers.
Thank you, Dr. White, School Board. And I'm so glad that Ms. Ivanchek said the Women's Month. And it made me think about, I watch a lot of SportsCenter and ESPN, and there's been some commercials about that. And you think about right now, we have almost 60 young leaders that are sitting in this room at the middle school level. And I think that that's absolutely awesome. And one thing I'd say to each and every one of you is just challenge you to truly be leaders in your school, whether it be middle school or whether when you go to high school, college, and life, be leaders. But I want to say to the cheer team, and again, to have a title, again, not easy. I could go back and say, do you remember the summer? Do you remember the hard practices? Absolutely. But one thing, I think when we went to school, cheerleaders, they were not flying through the air. Folks were not being thrown up. It was more cheer time. And now the level of athlete that is cheer, that is dance, is incredible. I can remember, and some of you remember well as well, even coaching, some of the best athletes that I ever had, they were cheer and dance. And you think about the other sports that some of you do, and maybe many of you do, you guys are athletes. And never, ever forget that. And the last thing that I would say, when you walked off that stage and you didn't necessarily know that you were state champions at the time, but I hope that you can reflect about everything that it took to get there. Because again, the day of is one thing. It's everything it takes to get there, which is what makes a champion. So I just couldn't be prouder. And School Board?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Mr. Heinley.
Okay, y'all are really gonna feel my pain here, because I am a 6-year veteran as a cheer dad. 12 years.
That's punishment.
In fact, my youngest daughter is a Niceville High School cheerleader. She's a senior right now, and they'll be here at the next board meeting. But you cheerleaders, continue your craft. I mean, you're just getting there. You're champions. Take it on to Niceville High School. The rewards just get bigger and better. And all you cheer parents out there, I feel your pain. I really feel your pain, but it's worth it to see your kids do that and excel. And a few of you and the dancers will go on off and do it at a collegiate level, which is really, really special. I want to give a special kudos to Coach Tanya. She does Ruckle and Niceville. I don't know how you do it. And got 3 kids of your own. I don't know how you do it. And I will tell you, I've seen her at all these events. And all you cheer dads and moms, when you walk out of ESPN Sports Center for the last time, you might not ever go back there again. After all the years you traveled down there for that intense time. So, but congratulations, cheer team. Job well done.
Thank you, Mr. Heinley.
Yeah, this is a very big team, right?
Very big.
How many, what's the number?
26.
That's large. When I was in school, we had like 10 cheerleaders or something like that. But like you said, the things you have to do and the gymnastic piece and the dancing and all that. Again, congratulations. And, it is Women's History Month, and you are making history for your school. This goes down forever. This is something they can never take away from you. You'll always be a champion. So congratulations to the girls and the coaches, all the teachers and everything. It's fantastic. Very proud of you.
Thank you. And I'll say the same thing. Congratulations. We're proud of you. Thank you for what you do for your school, with school spirit. That's very important. And we're so grateful to all of you, parents especially, for your help and assistance. Mr. Bryant?
Yeah, I would just say that I know at Niceville they have like 3 years in a row that y'all been champions there. 6? Okay. We done lost track of it. So
who's counting?
But the reason why Niceville has won 6 in a row is because they have a great program at Ruckle to bring all these the athletes up to where by the time they get to high school, they're used to winning. It's expected. And, we always say that, you have to work hard and all that, but when it's actually in the mix already that you're going to head off to a winning program. I mean, that just helps the feeder programs excel. And I agree with Mr. Heinley. I don't know how you do it. I know you got a family of your own, and you're dealing with a lot of parents, and you're dealing with a lot of cheerleaders out there. But I just think it's amazing to see what y'all have accomplished this year, and knowing that probably soon we'll be recognizing the Niceville girls for 7 in a row. So that's pretty cool. But parents, again, congratulations. Girls, congratulations. Way to make Okaloosa proud.
Thank you, Mr. Bryant. Mr. Destin?
Well, not to paper over too many of the superlatives that have been offered thus far, I will say I agree with Mr. Chambers. The sheer athleticism of the sport has changed over the years at a pace that may not be matched by any other sport. And I use swimming again as my reference because the records that we thought would never be broken by Mark Spitz were destroyed several decades later by Phelps. And then we said, that's never going to happen. Nobody will ever be able to do that again. And they're in there crushing it. The edge of all of our new sports over the last 15 years, whether it's swimming or track and cheerleading, the boundaries of what we thought was possible before from an athletic standpoint keep getting pushed ahead further and further. And we go, how the heck do they keep doing this? It's a dedication to the coaches. It's a dedication to the parents, the dedication for the hours that everybody puts in. We are honing the craft of every sport, but there really has been no transition quite like what we've seen in cheerleading, and you guys are at the very tip of that spear and on that trend, and I couldn't be more proud that that's in Okaloosa, and I think we're going to see more of that come in the future with Niceville, and I can't wait to see it. Congrats, guys. You put in a ton of work.
Thank you, Mr. Destin. Superintendent?
Thank you, sir. And as Mr. Genezo comes forward, as Coach comes forward, I do want to say to both cheer and dance, the coaches, just thank you. There's a whole lot of hours that folks don't realize that you all put into this at the house and after practices before. So just thank you for being role models in the lives of our students. Mr. Genezo, Coach.
So I'm going to note that I should separate these on the separate nights so that I can not have to go over twice the material, because it is the same product on both of our teams here with their deliberate practices and their dedication. But that does not happen without the drive. You could be the most talented athletes and most talented team if you are not driven to be the best because of everything that Mr. Parker shared, of it continually changing. The bar is being raised. The expectations in Niceville are always at the top, and we love living there because the higher the bar goes, the more growth we have, and our kids continue to reach it every single time that challenge is put in front of them. I'm awe-inspired about the numbers of years in a row that these championships are being won, and I just could not be more proud. I think it was said to me before by Ms. Ivanchek, did you teach them any of that stuff? I said, I stay as far away as possible, because if I teach them anything, it is not going to look very pretty out on the competition board. So Taylor's going to share a few words.
So I'm Taylor. I'm an 8th grader here at Ruckle. I've been on the team for 3 years, and I've loved being a part of Ruckle Cheers out all the years, but this year definitely stood out to me as just a team who came together. I feel like right as we just got our team together, it felt like we'd all been on a team together for many years in a row. And no matter if we had a hard practice, mentally off days, because we had many practices in a row that were definitely hard, we always came together as a team, worked through it, and came through the next day like it never happened. And then a huge shout out to the coaches, because it really wouldn't be possible. They have their home lives, and they come and they hang out with us too. And they just they just constantly remind us to be capable, or that we are capable of doing what we're supposed to, and they just make us feel like we can do what we're do what y'all give us confidently. And then a huge thank you to y'all, because it really wouldn't be possible without like y'all at all. And we definitely made history for Ruckle. And then like we are your 2024-2025 large junior high traditional national champions.
I'm Tanya Herndon. Everyone wants to know how I do it. It's because we have a great team of coaches. This is Crystal Carwile and Paige Becking. This is actually my 10th year with Ruckle, so this was really special to win this championship. And for this crew, we took a larger team than we ever had before. Paige and I said for years, 18 is the dream number, 18. And it's always been 20, 21, 19, and then we were like, what are we about to do? Like, we're looking at 26 people at tryouts out of like over 75 that tried out. I don't know that any cheerleading team ever, not even at Niceville, has that many people try out. It was crazy. And so we took this huge team, and I don't know that I've ever coached knowing like if we do this right, we could win. It's always if we do this right, we could do well. We want to make finals. We want to place in the top 3. We want to place in the top 5. But we knew that this team could win, and we pushed them to win, and they let us push them really hard. And we had 26 people on the team, and I think 13 were brand new to Ruckle Cheer, had never cheered at Ruckle before. And so just when you get 3-year veterans, 6th graders, 7th graders, and 13 people who have never done the sport before, like just what they were able to do as teenagers and come together and put this beautiful product on the floor in the midst of also in the fall cheering for football and volleyball, in the winter cheering for basketball. I mean, it's not uncommon for us to do study hall for 30 minutes after school, practice, and go straight to a basketball game in the winter, and then show back up at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Is incredible. Great grades, excellent students, like they just really are the total package. And I think cheer parents tend to sometimes get a bad rep, but like we had amazing parents. And I mean, we gushed about all of you last night and told you how much we love you, but the town needs to hear it too. So like just to have parents who are totally behind everything that we expected of your children, to encourage us as we were coaching them, to help them through the hard days, to learn how to handle hard better, but also to financially support, show up for fundraisers, do everything that it entailed. I mean, you guys were really just like unbeatable as parents. You guys were unbeatable as kids in character and in all of the things, but I think in the end, your character is what made you unbeatable because you worked like you had nothing to lose and everything to gain. So we're really proud of you. The new facility was extremely helpful. It was really nice for cheer and dance to kind of each have their own spaces this year. I think that really helped both of us excel. It was awesome. So thank you everyone that voted for the half-cent sales tax.
That's right.
It's really beneficial to a lot of sports and groups all over the county. I know we definitely felt the benefits of that at Ruckle. So thank you. Yeah, it was a great season.
Thank you, Coach.
Great, we're going to read them off here. We'll just kind of divvy them out. You want to go ahead, Coach?
Sure. Fiona McCallan.
We're going to just read all the way through them and clap with me.
Okay. Brooklyn Bradley.
Addison Adams.
Aubrey Mashad.
Kennedy Curtis.
Ella Allard. Lindley Rayner.
Aaliyah Dark.
Reagan Alt.
Willa Rass.
Kenzie Hall.
Julia Begdazarov.
Lily Rush.
Tegan Harvell.
Sloan Baldock.
Addison Hauk, Blakely Boswell, BB, Taylor Sanders. Oh, you're not BB. Sorry. Aylin Lanen, Emery Boswell, Molly Strawn, Brinley Lerner. I have Emma Ballard. Emma Ballard, who's at a tennis tournament. Mila Tucker. And Hallie Mathern. Thank you. All right.
Okay, here we go. The Ruckle Middle School cheer team for 2025 Large Junior High Division National Champs.
Okay, are you ready? 876, pick up Addison. Gotta pick her up. Crouch low in the middle row. 7th graders, go like maybe on knees and sit up tall. All the way down on knees, but sit up. Great. Now crouch. Give a little crouchy. There you go. Do we need to shift a little? Okay. I'm going to go first, and I'm going to take a couple, so everybody just keep smiling, and then we'll let the parents take it. Yeah, exactly. No question. All right, here we go. Everybody smile. Keep smiling. One more. All right, stay where you are. I'm going to get out of the way and let your parents take it. Group chat.
All right, folks, so the way this works is I'm going to call a 2-minute recess to allow folks to leave if they have things to do. So we're in recess for 2 minutes. All right, so we'll go ahead and reconvene our meeting and carry on with our business as indicated on the agenda. We have no administrative personnel appointments. Section 5 is public comment, blue cards. I don't think we have any, do we? Thank you, Ms. Mary. And then 6, committee and staff reports, workshop only. 6.1 was the financial and federal single audit we covered today. And that brings us to section 7, consent agenda and approval. So I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Destin. Second by Ms. Ivanchek. Any discussion? Being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. All right, let's go on down to section 8. And we have the superintendent's human resources recommendations, 8.1 and 8.2. That's information only. And then 8.3, these are action items. Proposed revision to fiscal year 24-25 salary schedule for professional technical personnel, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant.
Second.
Second by Mr. Heinley. Any discussion? Being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.4, out-of-field report for the 24-25 school year, presented by Ms. Duran and recommended by the superintendent.
I'll move it.
Motion by Ms. Ivanchek.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion? Being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.5, employment separations, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Heinley.
Second.
Second by Ms. Ivanchek. Any discussion? Being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.6, personnel recommendations, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Destin.
Second.
Mr. Heinley got it.
All right. Second by Mr. Heinley. Any discussion? Being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.7, employee transfers, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Heinley.
Second.
Second by Ms. Ivanchek. Any discussion? Being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.8, reinstatement reimbursement of sick leave due to line of duty illness, injury, medical examination, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant.
Second.
Second by Mr. Destin. Any discussion? Being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.9, leave without pay, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent.
I'll move it. Oh, I'll second.
All right, motion by Mr. Heinley, second by Ms. Ivanchek. Any discussion? Being none, let's vote. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. No items on discussion. Section 10 is construction programs, owners, representatives, business. And that's yours, Mr. Heinley.
Okay, we had our meeting today with Jacob Titan and then Bill Smith and Bobby, and everybody was there. So I'm going to highlight. So you got your regular agenda package, and then you got a little highlight on the ones. I'll just go through it. Okay, task order number 12. That was, originally was all the cafetoriums, and now we got the old cafeteria renovation projects. So that's split down in 3 different groups. The first one that will be done was Edwin's Ruckle, and that GMP is coming. Hopefully, maybe by the next board meeting, we'll get that presented to us for approval. After that, Plough and Wright will be tackled, and then after that, Bob Sykes and Shalimar. That's how it exists now. We got to work through the monies for this. This is sales tax money, so there might be some movement on that either way. But keep that in mind that we might be able to move, accelerate that as I get down farther. Okay, task order number 16 is not on the abbreviated one, but it has to do with the totem pole. And it's getting close. It's still in the works, and the Indian has been moved inside, I believe. Task order number 23, high school auditorium upgrades. Work is complete, all except Niceville High School, and they hope they finish that over spring break. Task order number 24 is, read my handwriting here. Oh, that's for this building. So next week, the admin is hopefully going to be moving, and the boardroom and offices, the new boardroom and our offices, summertime maybe. So, task order number 32, Florosa Elementary School and roofing coat projects. The Florosa Elementary School, the building roof is completed, and they're working on the roof right here to do the tear off and water damage areas on this building. Task order number 33, softball press box concession buildings at Fort Walton Beach High School and Crestview High School. They're ongoing right now, and I believe we're going to try for that for the end of the month. Correct? Okay. Task order number 34. Oh, and that one has Lewis too, which is about to start. Okay. Task order number 34, sales tax projects at Meigs and Diston Middle School. Just what you read there. Work at Meigs old front office and ongoing with interior and painting, epoxy flooring, and wall tile, et cetera, et cetera. Back up, I skipped one. Task order number 28. This is a safety issue. It's under sales tax. It has to do with door locks. Longwood has been completed, and we're getting the pricing for Niceville High School. And this is the interior doors, and that's something we might want to look at in the future based on money-wise. So once we get the money estimate from Niceville High School, I think that warrants a discussion where we need to go with that. Task order number 33.
Dr. White, can I ask Mr. Heinley a question real quick? So with the locks, is that the Salto locks that we're talking about? Okay.
Yes,
And you're talking about internal, every classroom or whatever.
That is correct.
Okay. And how do those work with how do those work?
There's two different systems. The classroom doors would be run off of battery operated. Exterior doors would be power needs to be run to the casing itself.
Okay, so how are they? Oh, okay. The card? Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
It's a swipe device
Okay.
that you use in the front, but it's just off of a battery operated system instead of running power to it.
But not by the kids.
Correct. These
Yeah,
would be for the teachers.
Right.
Right. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yes.
Just like if they had a key or something.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of like almost like at a hotel or something. We have that kind of system.
It monitors who goes in and out, and it also locks behind you instead of
So
physically.
it'll if I use my badge somewhere, then it recognizes
It
that
does. It logs
Lindy
it.
Vanchek went into such and such room.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And when you leave and all that.
Yes.
So very good security. Okay. Thank you.
There's a lot of pros to this, but there's a few things we need to look at on money-wise, and we might want to spend money elsewhere first. I think we'll eventually get them, but everything's a priority. So that's one item to keep in your mind in the future.
And that the thing with the battery, that has to be, when those batteries don't work or die or whatever. Yeah. Okay. That's the issue. Yeah.
But having had some experience with keys to buildings,
Yeah.
and I used to call it my boat anchor because I had so many keys, and because we had old locks and locks that sometimes had to be repaired, and it was a technicality to go through that whole process. I think this makes things a lot simpler and easier for all of our folks, including our teachers. Would that be your assessment?
At certain locations, absolutely. Yeah, there's maintenance workers and staff that have changed locks over the course of multiple years,
Right.
multiple buildings. So to streamline things, yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I see. So.
And I agree with you, Dr. White. I mean, it definitely will be better, but at what cost?
Oh, I hear that, and I agree with you.
And when you look
Right,
at doing
right,
for
right.
every internal door in the whole district, a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, that's right, that's right. I'll never forget, a principal told me, he said, all right, you've got the dance this weekend. And I was a little concerned about that, and I said, well, what should I do? And he said, well, the first thing you probably ought to do is take your key down to the gym and make sure it works.
That would be.
So hopefully this will be a lot easier.
And I know Ms. Vanchek can attest to this because when I first got on the board, I met with Mr. Bartello at Baker, and I know you had the same conversation, and he showed me his wad of keys, basically, and I was like, man, how do you keep up with all that?
I know, and all the keys. And so are you going to give us some pros and cons on this system, or are you strictly looking at money?
Well, no, I think you need to weigh it all together, but we need to get all the data first, what it's going to cost, and then what other projects do we have out there? That's my main thing. I mean, because not doing a COP, I mean, we're waiting for the money to come in on sales tax.
Right.
So we got to decide when we want to. And look, we may want to do this now versus something else, or swap it. So it just depends on the needs or what the board feels like. So.
And if we go for every school, that would be a lot of locks.
A lot of money.
Yeah,
So-
okay.
Okay, task order number 35 is the big one for the new Pine View School, Destin Elementary School add-on, and the Baker add-on. So Pine View foundation work continued with the rest of the site was brought to a final grade. The retention pond was excavated and underground utility installation began. Slab placement and vertical CMU wall installation continue for building for the foundation work is complete. Underground rough-in is ongoing. Jacob Titan said they're working 6 days a week.
What is a vertical CM? I know vertical. I got that word. What is a CMU wall? Anybody?
It's a block wall.
Oh, okay. So that's like the starting, yeah. Oh, cement. Okay, gotcha.
Probably for retention reasons too, right?
Right.
Could be.
Okay, cool. So they're starting to come along out there.
Oh yeah, but, and they know the time frame. So I mean, they're very aware of that. Destin Elementary, their excavation of foundations are ongoing. They're working with the city of Destin for some working their way for getting the roads in there. And Baker 10 edition, the project was issued out to the general contractors with the bid expected this week. So hopefully we'll get that information in the next board meeting. Task order number 37, sales tax HVAC projects. So Mary Esther, they're going to do a lot of work in spring break because they can't do it while the kids are there. So they're jumping on that. They're going to knock the power down. So that's going to happen a lot over spring break. Fort Walton Beach High School is pretty much done. They're working on some small little issues. And the design for Niceville High School, which is the insulation, that's going to be over the summertime. Task order number 39. This is for the SOUP, district-wide parking and paving projects. Crestville High School design work is complete, and that hopefully will bring that to the next board meeting for approval for the GMP. And then task order number 40 is next year. Task order number 43, the OTC, the design work's complete. Task order number 44, roofing project. So the Edwards Elementary design work is complete. Hope to bring that to the board approval for next board meeting. And followed on that, it will be Elliott, and that's 1.5 mil money. So that would follow after Edwards is approved. And the last one, task order number 45, is the restroom projects. And they're working on the design still, and that's probably going to be a summertime job. So
Restrooms, where is that?
there's 6 buildings, 6 schools.
Okay,
I don't know them off the top of my head.
okay,
They're probably listed on the detailed one. So,
okay.
and the only other one I forgot was task order number 38. The Niceville High School band room, the design is finalized, and the Crestview High School band room design is in process.
Awesome. Well, very good.
That's a great report.
Yeah.
Chairman, can I jump in real quick? I have a question for Grant. I am jumping back to the task order, but I think if you can do it from memory, that there was a task order change or scope change for Destin Elementary's fence.
Correct.
We're
That's
switching
task
over to.
order 28. That's our security task order.
Is that the fence that's at that sort of?
The
It's like a
4-foot
it's a
fence.
3 or 4 foot tiny little guy that's around the track, but we
yes.
have so many kids out there. I think it makes a lot of folks nervous
That's right.
that it's
That's it.
like having no fence almost.
Yes, that is
Okay.
it. It's been ordered, so we're just waiting on material. Then it'll be installed.
Great.
Yep.
Awesome.
All
I
right.
wanted to say that, Mr. Chambers, I guess no matter how much money we ever get, we won't get past roofs, right? Because
Yeah.
every single, I think, one we've had since I've been on this board had something about a roof.
I think when it comes to roofs and air conditioning systems, they're always going to be there.
That's right.
And I do want to say, Dr. White, if you don't mind, just thanking Mr. Heinley for the leadership on this committee.
Yes.
And I'll also want to thank Mr. Myers. The amount of time that it takes in preparing what's going to happen each year with the available dollars that are there. And we're blessed to be able to have the half-cent sales tax dollars, and we're blessed that our capital budget is stronger because of it. But if you remember, when we started the half-cent sales tax, so $220 million was supposed to come in, and we had about $600 million worth of needs. And of course, that number is larger today due to where we are today. But I just appreciate the diligence and the professionalism in terms of looking at these projects and scoping them out. And then Mr. Heinley, jumping right in on this committee and helping us continue to move forward is a big deal, and it's making a difference in this county.
Quite the learning curve.
You've got it down pretty good, I think.
That's great, though. Good job.
Good job. All right. Okay, colleagues, so that takes us to section 11, attorney's business. Anything tonight, sir?
Mr. Chairman, one item tonight, on the January 27th regular meeting agenda under category 10, which was construction program owners representative business, item 10.3 was an approval of a GMP. The public content section correctly had the price at $796,308. There was a typo in the body of the motion on that agenda. It was shown as $796,306. So I would ask tonight if the board would please correct that Scrivener's error and ratify your approval of that GMP at $796,308.
All right, thank you, sir. And colleagues, you'll remember from the workshop that we'll need a motion to effectuate this.
So moved as stated by the attorney.
Motion by Mr. Heinley.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion? Being none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Now, where are we going to take that $3 out of, Julie? Or $2?
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
We're taking
All right. Superintendent, you have anything tonight, sir?
As you know, we presented shared information this morning and nothing further tonight.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you. All right, so board members, that brings us to our business. We covered some of this today, but we'll go through it one more time. Mr. Heinley, anything tonight?
No further announcements.
Okay. Ms. Ivanchek?
Happy spring break. That's what I got.
That's a good one. All right, Mr. Bryant?
Just real quick, this morning we were talking about some legislative issues, and each of you should have received an email from the Florida School Boards Association regarding the legislative update. Just want to point out the three bills that they are tracking right now. So Senate Bill 296, which is the middle school, high school start times, which was sponsored by Senator Bradley. This would repeal the required implementation of the 8 a.m. start for middle school and 8:30 a.m. for high school by July 1st, 2026. The bill was heard in its first committee stop in the Senate Education Pre-K-12, and during the committee meeting, an amendment was adopted so the language of the bill now matches the House language, which still would repeal the requirement but continues to have school districts consider late start times when creating their school schedules and bell times. And this bill was actually passed 6-1 and is already on the agenda to be heard in this week in the Senate Appropriations on Education Pre-K through 12. Senate Bill 166, which is administrative efficiency in public schools, which was called deregulation last year. Now they've called it administrative efficiency. This is by Senator Simon, and this continues the dereg work started last year. The bill once again changes the graduation requirements for using the ELA assessment and the Algebra 1 EOC to counting for 30% of the total grade, permanently removes the cost per student station and makes adjustments to teacher evaluations. And the bill passed committee unanimously and is already on the agenda to be heard this week in the Senate Appropriations on Education Pre-K-12. And then finally, House Bill 123, Education by Representative Andrade, who is over in Escambia County, would change the requirements of how a school could be converted to a charter school, allows a municipality to apply to convert a school to a charter school, and would restrict school boards from purchasing or acquiring property when they have had declining enrollment for the last 5 years. The bill was heard in its first committee, Education Administrative Subcommittee, and passed along party lines. And of course, we know Republicans have a supermajority in there, so the second committee reference of Education Pre-K-12 budget has been removed, and it now only has one more committee stop. So obviously, session is really starting to really get going. So these were the top three that the Florida School Boards Association has been watching that I thought that, you know, since we talked about this morning, I would put that out there for the general public to hear, because even though we advocate, the parents can also do that, or the, you know, people who have a vested interest in public education. This is where you can get involved. So thank you, Dr. White.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Bryant. Mr. Destin?
Nothing tonight.
All right, very good. All right, so that takes us to section 14, public comment, and these would be yellow cards. Do we have any, Miss Mary? No. All right. So I think that concludes everything on the agenda. Mr. McInnes, we're good there, and colleagues, we're fine here. Staff? Okay, this meeting is adjourned.
Roddy's thing.